SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. With nearly 1,000 different pay classifications, the General Retail Industry Award is a labyrinth document and far too complicated for small and medium businesses to properly navigate. That's according to Luke Achterstraat, CEO of the Council of Small Business Associations Australia, or COSBOA. In a new collaboration with the Australian Retailers Association, the goal is to fight for change and simplicity in the award. And as Luke explains to Jeff Waters, it's an 80-page law that disproportionately impacts small business.
We're really delighted to be working with the Retail Association because we know that so many retail businesses are small businesses. So 97 or 98% of retail operators are actually small businesses. There might be mum and dads running a gift store. There might be mum and dads running a bookshop. And they really are that sort of backbone of the economy that we all like to talk about and praise so much, but that in reality is the overwhelming majority of participants in retail. So sometimes there is a bit of a demonization of retail, and there's often a lot of focus on, the big evil supermarkets and all this sort of stuff. But we know in reality, we're talking about an industry that employs, tens of thousands of Australians and thousands of small businesses. So with respect to the Retail Award, we feel it is time that it's modernised, that it's updated. There is a disproportionate impact on small businesses when it comes to interpreting what's a pretty complex instrument. The Retail Industry Award has almost 1,000 different rates of pay. It's almost 80 pages to get through the whole thing. So again, we come back to a small business owner who is the head of sales, the head of marketing, but they're also the head of operations, the head of IR, and the head of legal. So we need these instruments to be easy to understand. We also just need them to be quite practical, Jeff, and able to provide mutual benefits for both small business employers and also their workers. So we've put forward a few sensible and practical recommendations to the award, and that's currently being heard by the Fair Work Commission. So again, we're cautiously optimistic. We've got some strong evidence in there about how some of these updates will drive better productivity, better flexibility for workers. And really, this couldn't be more important at a time when a lot of retailers are really struggling to stay afloat and when we're actually finding it quite hard to attract people into retail as a career. So a win-win for small business and workers, and that's why we're very happy to keep collaborating with the Retailers Association on promoting this piece of reform.
Can you outline for us some of the, if you want, headline, or at least one of the headline things that you're asking for, the changes?
Yeah, so the headline piece here is about giving management level workers in the retail industry the ability to have a higher base rate of pay. So 135% higher than the base rate, than the award rate, along with that ability to be more flexible and really recognising those workers who may wish to do a 4-day shift or perhaps do their hours in a more flexible way.
Hold on a minute, you're an employer group.
Yeah.
You're saying that the 4-day week is more productive? You're agreeing with that?
Well, Jeff, what we've found is we need to actually keep pace with workers' preferences, and we're obviously seeing a lot of working families at the moment as well. So employers simply want productivity, and a part of that is actually flexibility. So it's not necessarily about how long someone works for. It might be about when they can work and trying to maximize those opportunities. So certainly, we see, flexibility for the worker being hand in hand as part of that productivity piece. And we know that productivity is not about working longer hours. It's actually working smarter. And that's what these proposals seek to do, is open up conversations between small business owners and their workers to come to arrangements where the worker has a high rate of pay that's guaranteed, greater income stability as part of those agreements. And probably, Jeff, just to really emphasise here, this is an opt-in proposal. So, there's been a bit of scaremongering out there, as we often expect from the unions, particularly with a federal election not far away. They're obviously making some noise, but it is really important to note that what is put forward by the ARA and COSBOA is an opt-in voluntary set of arrangements for workers. And actually the modelling that's been conducted shows that on average, a retail manager might be $5,800 per year better off if they sought to take advantage of some of these proposals. So the modelling's there, the evidence is there. This is about fostering productive and cooperative arrangements between small businesses and their workers. We think it's high time that this potential for greater flexibility was unlocked. Why is it that retail workers cannot currently benefit from this? The Hospitality Industry Award already has these arrangements in place. So we feel it's high time that the retail industry caught up and doing that in a sensible way. And we look forward to seeing what the Fair Work Commission comes back with, and we'll continue advocating along that basis. So, it's always can come across as quite adversarial, these conversations, but certainly what's being put forward would leave workers better off and will also help small businesses juggle their rosters and really get those workers that they so desperately need.
Well, it's before the independent arbitrator, so the unions really don't have a leg to stand on if the Fair Work Commission thinks it's a good idea. Are there any other things that you can outline for us that small businesses might be interested in insofar as your lobbying on this is concerned?
Yeah, look, there's a whole modern award process that's underway, Jeff, and we feel that that's really important because we know for a lot of small businesses, they do, in many cases rely on the award. They're not necessarily participating in enterprise bargaining or in collective bargaining, for various reasons. They might not have the size to participate in that. They may be a smaller operation. So certainly the more that we feel the award itself as that, underlying legislative instrument, that can be made, more comprehensible, more practical, and with a little bit more flexibility there for small business employees to have some, meaningful conversations with their workers to provide them with that income certainty. That for us is really a bit of a cornerstone, a bit of a touchstone. And we want actually small businesses to, find the award to be constructive and to be productive and to be easy to understand. So as I say, 994, almost 1,000 different rates of pay currently in the award. It's high time that we really try to simplify things, provide a little bit more flexibility. But again, just reassuring it is an opt-in process that we're talking about here. And why wouldn't you be giving workers and small businesses choice in an environment where people have different work preferences, different work arrangements that they're seeking to undertake? So the piece of work will continue with the Retail Industry Award, but for small businesses out there listening, also our broader advocacy around reducing some of those compliance costs, reducing the red tape, and actually providing a lot of materials to small businesses. So probably just to wrap up what we are doing, we at COSBOA are looking to roll out, fact sheets, information, charts that really try to break down a lot of this legislation into plain English and into understandable English. So smallbusinesspeak.org is a website we're developing to really try to produce user-friendly content to really help small businesses understand their entitlements, but equally understand what are their responsibilities as an employer and try to make it easier for them to comply. Because at the end of the day, unions, employers, all of us want to see workplaces that are harmonious and that are compliant and where everybody wins.
That's Luke Achterstraat, CEO of the Council of Small Business Associations Australia. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel.